Certain, I would first like to request you about your observations as far as the current generation of the candidates is concerned. When I'm talking about current generation, we are talking a lifespan of, say, let's say about 5 to 10 years, back. And currently, of course, since we are in the business of mentoring the aspirants, we also have a pulse on the, a finger on the pulse, on their pulse, and see what they are, how they're thinking, how they're manifesting their behavior, their manifestation kya chal raha hai, usme, what is it that is coming out of it. So we have different entries. So we have the NDA entry, we have the TES entry, we have the CDS entry, then various SSC, tech, SSC, non-tech, and different kind of entry, different age groups. One thing, of course, remains common is that how much they are aligned to as far the service is concerned, which personally as an interviewing officer, I find there are differences in different entries, NDA entry to versus the TES 10+2 entry. That motivation level is a little different. The kind of awareness levels, they are slightly different. The focus on various things is different, but that is, I think, more of an academic point of view, I would say. But yes, as far as the behavior is concerned, observable behavior as far as their interest is concerned and their performance is concerned. I leave it to you how you want to,
very, very
bring
true,
out.
sir.
Yeah, because I
You
think these are
actually
things which are
brought out
important.
several aspects, sir.
Yes.
Let us look at the current generation. This is a generation which is post-COVID. So I will not say that what they're lacking or something, but we can't blame this generation. They are those who have missed out on their peer group, a very important group in your life.
Absolutely.
Number one. So, and the peer group means it's not just a verbal contact. It is a physical contact. It is going out together. It's playing games together, doing teamwork. So the team factor, the group factor is to quite an extent these days, which needs to be built up, I would say. So firstly, the youngsters who are coming for the armed forces, they need to they'll have to push themselves to go out and make some more friends, trust people, make friends, because if you don't interact with others, you will never have the flow of information. You'll never get to know what's happening in other spheres of life. And also engage in activities with them. For example, there may be some places where you can play a bit of basketball, football, etc. There are some parks, etc. So the way I look at it when it goes with our candidates today, firstly, the awareness levels are on the downtrend, because when you have information coming from, when you have too much of information, you tend to keep away from it because you feel that it like overpowers you.
Mm-hmm.
Your mobile gives you information, you have TV coming on, you have OTT channels, you have this and you have that. So friends, you need to focus a bit on very specifically gathering up and building up your awareness. Number one, awareness about you, yourself, your family, how you've gone through your life, what you'd like to be later on. And apart from that, knowing about your place. Suppose we ask you a question, tell me about the town where you're coming from. Many of the candidates, they're not able to give a forthright answer. Even about the place where they've been staying for the last 10, 15 years at least.
Absolutely.
And if we further go in, it's about your country. Just take simple things and try to read. Because after all, you have to speak in the lecturate, you have to take part in the group discussion, and the entire GTO technique, and for that matter, the entire SSB is about your displayed qualities. If nobody is going to select you as an officer, if you're just going to be quiet and not speak and say, just look at my CV and take me in. So this is not a job. So we are not going to look at your CV. We are going to see what you are going to be doing in front of us. So it is your displayed quality in terms of your behavior and your ideas. So therefore, awareness, friends, is very, very important. And as sir was asking me, and he said that awareness actually hits you these days when you find that there are certain things, there are the candidates, if you're coming to join the armed forces, you might as well read a bit about the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Why is it that somebody has to come and teach you? Why not develop the interest? Why not find out, for example, a warship has been launched a day or two back, or a aircraft deal has gone through, or India is trying to sell the Tejas Mark 1 and Mark 2 to countries like Egypt, etc. So what about what is it about Tejas that makes it so special in the world market today? So this why, this new little input, you have to develop this, in Hindi we call it jigyasupan, and in English it is your curiosity. Unless you're curious, you will not get the information. And if you get the information, automatically your mind will try to process and find out a logical idea out of it. So this process is somewhere, this feeling, the reasoning, the urge to gain knowledge, this is slightly on the downtrend these days. And we can't blame our youngsters because IIT preparation, NEET preparation, AFCAT, this, that, everywhere it is a competitive world. And so unfortunately, you can't spare so much of time. Your minds are tired. So you will have to find time. If you're planning for the armed forces, then find time to know about it, know and understand which profession you're going into, and also build up your awareness. The second part, as I told you, that you all have more or less missed out on your peer groups, which you don't realize because you've been at home, just looking at computer screens, and your education has come through online sources. There are many who have just had taken admission during the time of COVID or pre-COVID, and today they have passed out of their colleges without ever sitting in front of a lecturer or interacting physically with your teacher. So if that has been there, you must agree with me that there are some and a lot of things which you get from your groups which are missing. So engage in that little gupshup with your friends. All right. And you will, I assure you, will get a lot of information, what they are doing, what is happening in the world, and open new vistas in your life. And the last and final thing, friends, there is no solution by just going to a gym and improving. So when we talk about physicals, people say, I have this, you treat it like an exam. So you say, when the time will come, I will build up myself by going to a gym. It's like just that when the time will come, I'll prepare for IIT by going to a coaching institute. Life is not like that. It is your human body. So you have to eat well, sleep well, and read well also. So, and your physicals, you must go for a walk and a run and a jog and try to exercise against your own body weight, like push-ups, crunches, and all such kind of things. And eat healthy also. Our life is surrounded by packaged food. Friends, please try to avoid it and try to go on natural stuff and improve your health also. So these few things, because I find candidates whose arm strength is less, we are not checking your arm strength, but you have to do the task which involve your arm strength, which involve your leg strength. Many candidates look beyond their age. They seem to have aged, People who are supposed to be in their 15, 20 years of age, they look like 25, 30-year-olds. So that part. And there is another thing, if we say that somebody goes for a beauty contest, they also go through grooming. But would you like to just groom yourself just before the SSB? Or would you like to make it a part of your normal routine that you must look after yourself? Look well, eat well, sleep well, dress well, look smart. That doesn't mean you waste your money or spend money into some grooming things. But there is no harm in combing your hair. There is no harm in going for a shave when it comes to the boys. There is no harm in selecting the right colors when it goes to the girls, and dress up well. So people land up in the SSB wearing chappals. Now they say, you're going to check me, not my chappals. But I'll say, I'm checking the human being, the personality. That includes your footwear also. So these few things, please make it a point that you bring it as part of your routine. So now I come to this part, friends, that apart from physicals, your awareness and all this thing, have a routine in your life. Learn to organize your life, because if you want to build up and display the quality of organizing ability, it starts from your daily life, your routine. These are the few things I've found which are these days on the downtrend. I won't say missing, because we all have the good qualities. And finally, at the end of the day, as I said before, we are looking not for something like ABCD, the officer-like qualities. That's not something a machine-like thing. We are looking for a good human being. That is fair and square, simple two words. Good human, a good human being. Remember this part. That is where you need to work on.
Like you said, it is not that the students are at fault, but the times are such, the demands of the competition are such that you have no choice. Like those who are preparing for the JE, this thing, they are for 2 years or sometimes even 3 to 4 years, they are totally glued to PCM, or those who are preparing for the NEET to PCB. Now, in this, what is happening is, over a period of time, you lose track of whatever else is happening. You don't read about current affairs, history, geography, polity, this and that. Khali PCM, PCM. There is a curriculum. There is those previous year questions, those mock tests and whatnot. The quota factory that we have seen, and so given that environment, the competitive environment which is there today, my personal observation is that the candidate is not really to be blamed. If he is taking interest, he can still do it, right? If he is coming to an SSB, after the JE exam, you have still some time, before you go for the SSB. So this is the time where, I feel they can utilize to now remove the blinkers, right? And see things beyond the PCM, and get into some kind of an activity mode, right? Get mix up with individuals. Now recently we had one girl who was very bright, and but then she was all confined to herself, so not mixing with others. And I told this girl, I said, no, you need to mix with others, because otherwise you'll find it tough in the SSB. And she took the word, took the advice, and of course, we just got the news that no, she has been recommended. So the point I'm trying to highlight here is, despite the compulsions of being very focused and glued to those PCM, etc., etc., if you have decided to come for armed forces, then you need to be a little more aware, open up and learn things, try and learn things. So it is your interest that would show up in your knowledge, in your participation, and everything else. So those people who are, who have been preparing for a long time for these kind of things, uh, well before the SSB, you should try and get into an environment where, you can interact with other people and, learn various other things. But that inclination to know about new things, to, interest to take part in other things, that curiosity or jigyasa जिसे हम लोग बोलते हैं, so वो चीज नजर आनी चाहिए, that we are definitely looking at the SSB. Whether you may not have had an opportunity to participate in group activities or games or something for whatever reason, but whenever there is an opportunity, have you been utilizing it? Have you made an effort to, you know, avail of these opportunities once you're decided to come for the armed forces? I think that is again something which can be done in the whatever time period you have after you've finished with your JE exams and things like that. I'm specifically telling about the those who are preparing for the JE, etc., because they've been focused onto this. So this is something, a message which I feel, you know, I keep repeating it off and on, but it remains, I think, very, very relevant.
One of the very prominent questions which comes from candidates is, सर व्हाट डू आई डू इफ देयर इज अ फिश मार्केट? कि आपने उस टास्क को किया कैसे, उसमें आपकी सोच कैसी थी? आप बोलोगे सोच कैसी होती है, दौड़ने में और कूदने में कौन सी सोच होती है, पर हर एक टास्क में तो तरीका बताया जा रहा है।